Alright, boys and girls, we're getting down to our final stage. I actually put one thin coat on this. We sanded it down to 3600 micro mesh, which is probably equal to 400 or 600 grit sandpaper. I prefer micro mesh because it's a whole lot easier to control. And then we went up to 8,000 grit. And I put one coat using coffee filters, very light, and I'm liking how it turned out. I'm not going to sand it back down because we don't have any high spots. I'm putting in one more coat on, and at this point what we're doing is we're just dabbing on and wiping in. No more heavy coating here. So we put it to the fingerboard until that gets ate up. And you say, what the heck are you doing with coffee filters? Well, it tends to spread it very well. I saw several videos of people doing this as a final step. Spreads it very well and very finely. See what I'm doing up here. See, it's very fine. So we move it down to the middle. Basically rubbing it in. So don't have any high spots. Using too little is worse. Using too little is just as bad as using too much. I'm liking how that's looking. Don't want any streaks of any kind here. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I'm very happy with that. And I believe that's going to be our last coat. There's so little oil on that I think I'd be safe in actually just putting that on a stand and letting it dry overnight. See, we started this whole thing Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Had a wedding yesterday. It's Monday. I got this birchwood Casey gunstock finish. This is the True Oil gunstock wax is what it is. So once this is cured tomorrow morning, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to leave this out just in case I get any splotchiness when this dries. You do it one more time, it's not going to hurt anything. The way this reads is thin even coat, polish and rub thoroughly dry. Repeat steps 1 and 2 until desired luster is obtained, and that will give you a little bit of a extra protection on that. But boy, does that look good or what. You can see that light ring from my camera. Man, that looks so good. You know, I thought I hit the record button. We are adding the Birchwood KC gunstock wax. That's the same company that makes the True Oil. We're on our second coat. I thought I had hit record. Evidently we come up a little short on the pushing the record button. Like I said, this is a second coat. I'm going to call this done with the microfiber cloth here. Oh man, look how nice that looks. We're going to go ahead and put strings on it and do a setup. So stand by, let me get all this tape off of here and get it cleaned up so I can set it up. Okay, boys and girls, we are using the Thomas Stick Infeld, Vienna Jazz flat wound strings. They are 43, 50, 70, and 100. So let's get to this. I just put the nut back in place with some wood glue. Let's see what we have here. Here we go. Get me, where did my, oh, here it is. This is one of them bridges that likes to pop out of place. You know, the ball end of the string just lays there while you're up here goofing around with it. Likes to fall out, so you put a piece of glue there and it will stay in place for you. So we'll need these. We'll need the string cutters. Flat wounds. And they are super slinky, I'll tell you. Alright, so this end goes in here. Just gonna put this over the end to keep that in its place. And we are going to go 1.5 past. 1.5 past. Cut it. Pokey in a hole all the way down. Bend it. And I like to do this. Put a good kink in there because it is a round core. You don't want that to slip. You want to wrap it around the bottom. Okay, we're going to let that hold the string in place. Get rid of this plastic box. Next one is the 70. I like their packaging. Secured at this end. Wants to live there. We're going to go 1.5 past. Cut it. Stick it down in the hole. Bend it over. Use my pliers. Put a 90 degree in it. Stick it back in the hole and wind it up. One of the things we had problems with was there was a bad battery lead. We replaced that. I did that off camera. You don't need to see me soldering 2 wires together. So we replaced the battery. Also, there was an issue with the output jack being noisy. We used a crackle killer with some deoxit, and now that's not noisy. Both tone controls work with the center detent, and I'm going to let it sit and acclimate to having strings on it for the first time in over a week. But man, does that look sexy. The action is pretty low. I am not going to put a steel height gauge on it just yet. Got the body all cleaned up, nice polished neck, cleaned up the headstock. Tuners were a little bit loose, we tightened them up. Okay everybody, we are to the point of setup here. I don't want to do this in the traditional sense of using feeler gauges, but I want to get down here to the 9th. Let's go to the 15th fret and get down to the 7th, and I have very little relief there, and I like that. String height, we are at the wrong place. There's 5/64. We gotta bring these down some. So let's do that. We're looking for 5/64 at the 17th area. Oh, I brought that down too far. These evidently have pretty big red spacing. Basically, you set up a fretless the same way you set up a regular bass. go. There's 5/64ths. That's a little bit more than 5/64ths. There's 5/64ths. There's 5/64ths, and this was high, so that's going to come down. Not too much though, because we got a little thread spacing. And I brought it down too far. Back here. 5/64ths. Try to be just on the upper side of the double dot for the octave. That is intonated. A is on. E is on. They're sharp, so sound's got to go towards the back of the guitar. Come on, screwdriver, get in there. I like it. These are low impedance active pickups, and so you really don't have to worry about your string height as long as you're getting a good output. Let's just plug it in and make sure that we don't have any dead spots on the fingerboard, and then we'll be out of here. Once again, I'm not a fretless player, so I am clueless, nearly clueless, as to where my notes are. Sounds fine to me. And look at that fretboard. I like it. If you like anything that you saw here in this video today, please, I ask you, like and subscribe. If you need your guitar brought up to par and you're in the greater Pittsburgh area, you could send us a message on the Facebooks, or my number's there on the Facebooks. Also, it's Stringman Guitar. Get you in here. Take care of the old folks because they're special. Love your neighbor like you love yourself, and always, always be good to yourself. Peace.